Buongiorno. That's good morning in Italian, Jamie.
Oh,
Why did I choose Italian today? I don't
why?
know. I don't know. Because we're making snails and they have absolutely nothing to do with Italy.
Trying to spice it up.
Oh, yeah. I want to broaden your palette of words.
I'm so I'm so happy for you doing that
No,
for
you
me.
should be happy for you because you just learned to say
Oh,
buongiorno when you meet an Italian
buongiorno.
person. Hey, Brandon and Irish. You already hungry? Oh, it takes a while. Happy Friday to Peter as well. You had a breakfast taco, but now I want something sweet. Well, Jamie's here, so she'll cover that.
Yay.
Hey, how are you everything? And one blessed Nana. It's been a hot minute. Would be nice if we could get whatever B makes immediately after it's done. I could use some cinnamon rolls right now. My normal cake junkie has her daughter has a birthday, so she was like, "But I can't pick it up right away." I said, "Well, you can get it tomorrow." Yeah, but I want it right away. Yeah, exactly. That's me today. It's Friday. I've been on MG show this morning. Slept 4 hours. I'm really tired, but the show must go on.
Oh, you put in the work for everybody. Good for you.
I like how you say it with only a slight hint of sarcasm.
Sarcasm is my friend.
Yeah, that's the only language you speak. That's
That's
the only foreign language you speak. No, you can say "Buongiorno, el stupido."
Buongiorno, stupido. Just make me sound like
Hey,
I live in the hills.
hey, Roddy, and Wicked.
Jesus Christ.
They sell an aroma unit for gaming that could be used to smell the cinnamon rolls. It's called Game Scent. Yeah, I bet you it's kind of like those car scent things. After 5 minutes, you think, "Phew, I've been to whorehouses that smell better than this."
Ooh.
I never been to a whorehouse, but it's something I say. Yeah,
Hmm.
Jamie was like late again.
Never. We were on time. We were just chatting.
Yeah. Hello, Danny T. And Sue. And Sean Burt. Hi, Hairway to Stephen. Nikolai Cinemew rolls. Oh, I should do a line of court themed bakeries. Yeah, I know I forgot the cinnamon in the filling, but that's because it wasn't a mistake. It was to draw you in so people would say, "Oh, where's the cinnamon coming in?"
Wait, what happened?
I forgot to put in cinnamon when I put in filling.
Oh,
But it's because
Baker.
I dust it on top. I don't put it in the filling. I just dust it on top of the filling. So
Mm.
my brain doesn't work like that. I don't do your recipes. And the Mo Raiders is coming in. Oh, how nice! I
Mo
hope you had a great
Raiders.
mom day with Mo. No, a morning with Mo. She's Did you see her Swedish care package?
I didn't.
Oh, you should go see it. She's gonna have so much
Mm-mm.
licorice, and she hates licorice.
It was full of licorice. Of course it was.
Well, she got a lot of licorice. Tracy Violet, so nice to see you. Talking about Swedish licorice, our guest tomorrow, Panella.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and she's like a, a young level role.
And what does that mean?
You can ask her tomorrow,
Okay.
but it's very salty.
Can you say
Hey,
that again? Because
Justin.
I'll have to write it down. I won't remember.
Hey, Erin. How are you doing? And Tracy Fagan. All the Mo Raiders. Ghost Tree, Captain Gwen. Getting tossed around from channel to channel. So fun. Well, it's always fun to get tossed. Nope, I didn't say that. Hey, Renee, just finished breakfast, but I always have room for. I'm just afraid because I'm not gonna do those American, where you put meat on them, or you're gonna slather them. No, I'm gonna do it nice and European.
Oh my God.
None of your business.
American.
Hey, Joe, you are fluent in sarcasm. Hey, Mia, good morning. Bun, chicka, bun, bun. Hey, Booty. And Whiskey,
Hey, Whiskey.
Diane G, good morning, good afternoon. You should do a show with last meals of famous inmates of death row. Why should I do that? I'm not a chef. And I probably won't like half of it because I eat like a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
Robertson,
guys. Have you ever seen his palate?
it's refined.
It is very refined.
Anything on the McDonald's menu.
Hmm.
Heard you made delicious cinnamon rolls. We'll have to see if I do because I got my new mixer. I did the first batch, so it's resting right now, so you don't have to wait for an eternity when I start doing it. But let's see if it works. But let's see how it goes today. Cowpoke, wild turkey breast for the freezer. No, that was a stupid thing to say. I just wanted to know how turkey breasts were wild, but I've seen National Geographic. Those things can flop around. And I said that was a stupid thing to say, so I didn't say it. Hey, Jude Curio, good morning to you. And Mom of 10. Oh, so good. Mo is the best start to the day. Well, starting with Shizzy and then going into Mo, and then somewhere else is the best start to the day. She was about Bobbit and Bigfoot tonight. Oh, oh, KKB. Stays, how are you? Boudica became a member. And that reminds me, I have a little score to settle because I didn't get the notification from my uh, buy me a coffee yesterday. So I actually had a lot of corner kisses waiting for me when I got offline.
Isn't that sweet?
So thank you, Betsy and Rabbit, for 5 kisses each. And thank you, Boudica, for becoming a member. I'm cold, start cooking. We're not married, stop yelling. That's what I tell Jamie every day, and she said, "Well, legally, we spend more time together than most husbands and wives, so you just keep doing what I'm saying." That's with minimal
That's
sugar
right.
added. This is a very, very, by Danish standard, very sweet dough, and so I don't know if it's minimal sugar. Came for the Can Read coverage, stayed for the accent. Thank you, Glenn. Jamie has a slight Midwestern accent. I know some people find it endearing, but I don't
It's,
notice it because I have this perfect pitch and intonation.
I have
No,
no accent, but thank you.
uh,
Endearing.
there's a great difference. Oh, and it's going to be fun tomorrow with Panilla because she has the weirdest, sweetest accent. It's part Aussie, it's part American, and it's part Swedish. I never heard her talk before. I did it before yesterday in chat. She has a mix of all accents. That's fun. As a person
Vanilla?
with no absolutely no accent, it's fun to hear.
Is that who you're talking about? You said Panilla?
Yeah,
Yes. Oh my God, she is the sweetest.
Rocky Mountain Noises. That would be a great video. I'm not gonna make bull's balls. Good morning, Nima. Today we're gonna make some cinnamon rolls so we can get in an argument. What is the turkey wild, or is the breast in wild turkey, or maybe the breast are wild? A lot of bailing to do. This way up. Common law virtual marriage. Exactly. Celestial Force, so good to see you. Well, Jamie is not coming to Denmark because that would mean she was leaving her house.
Yeah. That's
Not gonna happen.
impossible. Not
Oh,
gonna happen.
Betsy was is here. I don't know if she heard it, but thank you so much for the corner kisses yesterday. Sorry, my phone didn't make the sound. Exactly. I had my buns on camera plenty of times.
He has.
This is called movie magic because I can do this. I don't know if you could hear me.
No.
I was just setting up because I have to run it off this PC. It has more RAM. You had to live shizzies early, totally missed Mo, but finally made it here. Just fetch more coffee. Chillaxing now. That's the way it should be, Debbie. It's Friday, and as Jessica Black sang, or was it Rebecca Black? Friday is the best day, or something like that.
Yep. You sing it. It's your jam.
Friday, Friday. So ride in my best friend's car or something. I can't remember. And she was like 45 years old. She was older than me, and she played this teen bopper. There's a website that has correction officer reading off last meal requests. Interesting. Oh, Nima is Swedish as well.
Is she?
Yeah.
Hey, Nima. It's good to see you.
Så siger du, goddag Nima, or goddag. They speak weird. Just say goddag.
Good day.
Dejligt
Dilate
at
at
du
do.
er
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
You just said, hello, nice that you're here.
Oh, look at me.
Yeah,
So proud of me.
screw that unchristian phone. It's PC time. Hey, Maria. What are we gonna do about Maria? Jamie, I'm gonna go in the kitchen because I have a dough that's been resting for over 15 minutes, so it's ready to
Okay.
be touched up by those.
You go get it.
Yes.
Go get it, buddy.
You entertain the troops.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. I know. Did you hear me? I was so proud of me. I don't know what I said. I can't remember how I said it. I'm too gullible. He could have had me saying anything. Hi, Christine. Sorry. Can't do it. Hi, Maria. Good to see you. What happens outside my driveway? I mean, I don't know. I'm never there. I don't go there. It seems scary. No, it's just an inside joke. I really do. I do have a life and I do go places.
Well, Jamie, let's start cooking with gas because I made this little thing.
Mm-hmm. What did you make? Oh, you made the dough. See?
Come
Some
on,
TV
stupid
magic, guys.
camera. Thank you. Yeah, because it has to rest for 15 minutes, and then you have to beat all the air out of it and start making it into. In Denmark, we don't call them cinnamon rolls; we call them cinnamon snails. So, and to make them into that, you need a flat piece of dough. How flat do you think? Well, about as flat as my butt. I need to do more squats,
Oh my God.
and I should turn on the oven.
Nima, you're more than welcome. It's okay. We just all have different opinions of things. So come hang out when we're just hanging out and having fun.
Did I wash your hands? Yes, I washed my hands before I started my stream.
I don't believe you.
Just remember that all of this is going into a 180 to 100 degree hot oven, so all the little bacteria will die. Not health advice. And I like to do it when I roll stuff out, because when you have a dough like this, what's really good about it is this is, in Denmark, we call this a soft dough. And it's really good for everything, every cake, or if you want to make buns for a birthday or something like that. If you want to make burger buns, this is my go-to. But you have to make gluten in it, and every time you roll anything, you know this. This is kind of like when you stretch in the morning. Oh, you stretch yourself, and then you'll just move it a bit, and the gluten will pull it back together because it's elastic. So be sure to move it around and do like this a couple of times, because then the gluten will pull it back, and it won't ruin it when you have to work with it later. So, but it's real simple to make cinnamon rolls, because you just need a big flat piece of dough. I might have way too much here. I don't have enough space or anything. But and you roll it down to, I would say, you try to get like below this size, so it doesn't get too big when you're finished with rolling it, because we're gonna roll it. I need a bigger table. I just saw the shark. We need a bigger boat, and I need a bigger table. Oh, I need to get my PC away from it.
Oh my God.
What now? Did I miss something?
No, me. It was just me.
Your gluten doesn't stretch very easy. Well, it's because you don't. We're gonna show you how to make the dough in a bit. Kaiser Pineapple.
Hi,
So good to see you,
Kaiser.
buddy. He likes to make like to make food. Thank you, Celestial. It's almost like I was an apprentice for 4 years and kind of know what I'm doing. I'm playing one who knows how to do. I should really beat your dough on camera. That's weird. Whiskey has the worst requests.
He really does.
Snake Plissken? What about gluten intolerant people? Did you think about that? You will get cancer now.
Oh my
Well,
God.
celiacs is 1.2% of the population. I know that after all this health, people started talking about, gluten isn't good for you. Well, do you know where the first civilization started, Jamie?
Where?
In Mesopotamia. Do you know how they settled the first civilization?
How?
Because they found out how to farm wheat. Because wheat is a really, 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 really good crop to have, because it's very versatile. And that happened around 16,000 years ago in near where the capital of Iraq is today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny that everyone who has been brought up on a diet on wheat, which is very normal in the Western European world. If you go to the East, there's more celiacs, but all of a sudden, because people have read in a paper that, gluten isn't good for you, they couldn't digest gluten anymore. It's almost like it's more in their head than it's in their stomach.
Imagine
Now
that.
I lost 25% of my audience. I get bloated from wheat. Probably the sugar.
Yeah. Drink some water. You'll be fine.
The Romans made an empire on wheat. Wouldn't want those buns to get too big. I like big buns. Who said you can't make dough on YouTube? Well, some do. Does your gluten bring all the boys to the yard? No, it's my buns. It's a very cooperative dough. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying this is a utilitarian dough. You can make everything with this dough. You can make breads, you can make buns, you can make cakes, you can make everything. It's a sweet dough. Some people will say it's weird to use it as burger buns, but I like it because kind of like you need a little salt with the sweet, you need a little sweet with the salt. So I actually make burger buns of this dough. So, but now we have the big piece of dough. Now to put on some filling. I hope it's soft enough that I can do it. What is the dough recipe? It's in both on the Discord. Oh, everyone should go to the Discord because someone told me I have to say that on the Discord we're making that name change thing. Go and vote for that. And in Baker's something, my recipes are all in the members chat tab on my YouTube channel. A cake made of dough. Yeah, we call it cakes when you make like a kringel. This is a cake too I'm going to make today. Yeah, just if you take this dough, I normally weigh them at around 70 or 80 grams. That's about a quarter potato for you Americans. And then put sesame seeds on them. Boom, greatest ever. Because it's a high yeast dough, so it'll be very fluffy when it's done. Yeah, Jamie is the one doing all the work today.
No. He knows how this goes. I'm only listening.
But just like on TV, I cheated and I made this, what do you call this, filling earlier today. And it's just a 1-to-1 sugar and you can use butter, you can use whatever. I used margarine because it's cheaper and it tastes the same. But you just chuck that along.
What'd you call it? Margarine?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because it's actually we use that a lot instead of butter in baking because it's more it makes the dough more stretchable. I don't know why, but it does. So
Okay.
you chuck a good chunk of that on your dough. Then you bring out your good old. This is a spatula, right?
No. K? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know what they call it. A
We
flat
call it
knife. I call
we
it a
call
flat
it
knife.
a pellet knife in Denmark. So, but you just chuck it all over your dough. In the top, you can't see that now. Get to the top of it. Not get to the chopper. Get to the topper. That's an Arnold joke. Please laugh. I'm feeling like Ted Bush today. And a little trick when you do this filling,
Yeah.
it can be a little hard to spread because it's butter. So if you're making a smaller batch, a good little trick is just heat it a little bit in the microwave. It hasn't not enough that it just becomes liquid, but just enough that you can easy drag it across the dough because you can tear the dough.
That looks amazing. You're doing such a good job.
Thank you so much. Almost
Yeah.
like I had tried it before.
Yeah, it's like you've done this before.
I'm just afraid I made too much, but the only thing you should be aware of when you put this on, as you can see down here in the bottom, I left about 6 inches.
How big is 6 inches? Okay.
6 inches. Oh, I should show it in front of the camera. I left 6 inches where I didn't put anything. That becomes important later. And then you go to the part that makes it into cinnamon buns.
Okay.
Now I have to find where I put my cinnamon. I have this concoction. Where's my camera? It's there. This is because I put this on porridge at Christmas. So this is a mix of cinnamon and sugar, but it's mostly cinnamon right now. And you just give it a healthy spraying. You could do it with when it's just cinnamon. That's what we do in the bakeries, but this is what I had, so this is what we're using. Boom, boom, boom.
Good job.
Thank you. And now it smells like Christmas. Next pizza, no pizza wheels.
You got to do your what were you doing that one day? Pizza
The
rolls?
what?
Is that what that was? Pizza rolls?
What?
Pizza rolls.
Yeah, I have done those. That's on a Dave stream.
I know.
And now you take. Can I manipulate? You take the top of the dough and just turn it over the first little piece here, and now the magic comes in. You just kind of rolls it, kind of like you would roll. I don't know what you roll. And this is really bad camera work. Come on. Because it jumps. So whenever you roll it down a bit, you kind of stretch it up and roll it back. Stretch it up, roll it back, so you don't get too much air trapped in there, and you make a tight bun. I like your tight pants. But again, just keep your hands on it, and with your thinny thumbs underneath the dough, just stretch it up and roll back. Stretch up, roll back. So it's tight like a tiger. So if you can keep it quite tight, and you'll end up with something that looks kind of like this. You have a roll, and then you have a piece of dough in the bottom with nothing on it, because we're going to need that in a bit. Because the biggest problem with making cinnamon rolls, if you don't bake them in a I had one of these. Because if you bake them in one of these, they will kind of stay in shape. But the biggest problem is it'll dump all the goodness out of the bottom when it gets hot. We have a little trick that prevents that, because we now made the dough tight like a tiger. This way. And then we just have to cut them out in a decent size. That's just it. And rolling using the thumbs. Yeah, it's to make sure that it's tight after. Devil's lettuce, no, we don't use those. Get it right, get it tight. Exactly. Secret tricks? No, it's just a lot of people don't know it. They just make this, and then they do a a cutty cut, and you have you can't really see if I show it to the camera. You can see you have all the rolls, and then you just take it and dunk it in your tin, and just stands there. But the trick is, now we made it tight, and we take this little snippet that's nothing on it, put it underneath, and push it down, because that snippet will keep it locked in so it doesn't just fall over. And then push it down a bit more in the middle than out on the sides, because when it rises, it'll rise more in the middle and will tip out all the content. So just I don't know how big they should be. I never tried to bake them like this. This is a first for me too. So just gonna make them. I always measure with my fingers. So I feel I always go this size to this size. It's a pretty good size. I don't know how much it is, but it's just a feeling. So I just put my ring finger here, then the next, and just slicey poo, because then you have the same sizes on everyone. And when you have to sell them in the store, it looks better when everything is the same size, because I know there's big people and small people, but we should still have the same size. And then there's this little knobby thing from the end. We're just going to chuck that. Could we do it done with sourdough? Probably not, because sourdough is way you can't. It's way too wet to stretch like this. Should I have one more? Maybe. Well, I should maybe try to. But again, just chuck them in. These are gonna be. Oh, I forgot to. I should have buttered up the tin before. We'll do that on the next one. But again, just chuck it under, put it in, push it down, around, under, down, around, under. So you can see the dough folds under here, and that's what keeps it going to be. It's gonna be prettier. Would have liked the roll more, but stop doing that. Stop doing that. Come on. We're not playing today. I would have liked another row here, but let's try this one. The next one I'll probably try and put some lubricant. I know that's not the word. That sounds weird. Put something in there so it's easier to get it out of after. But 2 seconds.
What did you just squirt in there? Is that like liquid butter?
Normally I would have used a spray, but I don't have it, so just some it's just some liquid margarine I put on it, so it's let it go easier. 10 broken. Damien, can you read those 10 broken baker ships?
Yeah. Hang on. Aw, Kaiser, Snuggy Nuggy, Before I Go, Chelsea, Leby, Just Dawn, Medita, Toodley, and Norma Stevens. And then Sunshine's Nana. Isn't that sweet?
Thank you so much. Oh, and let's all give send a thought to Before I Go. She's having her heart surgery today.
I know.
But thank you so much, Jim Cox. Of course, there's 3 left when I'm done. That's stupid. Okay, Google. Det der larm, det må være mørkt.
Hi, White Rabbit. How are you? I felt like there was something I missed. Hang on.
But then let's try something new. This is a muffin tin or whatever you call that. Let's try and because you can bake it in that too. See if how bad it'll go. Probably not next to each other because these will rise a bit. I never tried it before. You're joining me on the journey, man.
You're so ridiculous. You got a super chat from Brandon.
Now they're all sticky buttons.
Cooking with the lazy baker. Go get the liquid butter or I'll stick Jamie's dog Chloe on you. Always appreciated, Brandon.
No sultanas. No, you don't put raisins in any bakery baked goods. Cooking with the lazy baker. Go get the butter. Why? Yeah, cooking spray would be better than this, but we'll do it. We're just playing along. Maybe it's good. Rub it in the right way. Hey, Luna. You use parchment paper. Yeah, you can do that as well. But I'm lazy. I'll use that because now all of this has to rest for roughly 45 minutes. And I can't dance for 45 minutes, so we're going to do something else.
You can't dance for 45 minutes?
Nope, because real men don't dance.
Is that true?
Yeah.
No.
I use the four-finger technique when I poke my fingers. Well wishes for whoever is having surgery today. Hope it goes smooth and you get better soon. Thank you so much, Brandon. It's Before I Go. That's why her name is Before I Go. Shout out to the gentle fingerwork baker. Thank you, Maria. Can you freeze these with good results? Yes, you can. You could possibly freeze them before, but if you're going to freeze them after, don't bake them too much. And when you take them out the day before you need them. Put them in an oven and now I don't do Fahrenheit, but it's 80 to 100 degrees, real numbers, and you just put it in there for. Normally I give them like 5 to 10 minutes because what heat does. That's why toast is better than just regular bread. What heat does is it activates the gluten again. So and you'll get all the filling to become nice and gooey again. So you can take it up the day before so they are unthawed and just put them in the oven for maybe 5 to 8 minutes at 100 degrees. That's how I do it. Just don't make them too much. Just make sure this recipe I've said bake them for 15 minutes. Would I do that with everything? It depends on your oven. The heat, it depends on your oven. I said 200 in the recipe. I will run mine at 180. I find that's better because it bakes a little harder. So it's always degrees are something you feel for. But I'll tend to bake my stuff a little bit less than normal because a dough like this you normally bake for 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. But I'll rather start with 9 minutes so you make sure, because I like it a little softer. Yeah, I hate raisins as well. Well, and old people. You can freeze the unrisen as well. Yeah, you could, but because it's a high yeast dough, there's a lot of yeast in it. I'll show you in a bit. The yeast can die, and so if you're going to put it in the freezer, make sure you make it cold. When you make it the same day, make it a hot dough like I'm doing today. Or if you're going to freeze it baked, then you can, because I keep my doughs around body temperature, which is Bologna in Fahrenheit and 37 degrees in real numbers. Because yeast is a living organism.
Hmm.
Hey, Chrissy, and some Gillis.
Hey,
Been
Tom.
late. Real
How
men
are
dance for
you?
hours. No,
Yes, they
I'm
do.
so. You have never used muffin tins. I'm interested to see. Yeah, I just saw it somewhere, so I thought, oh, let's give it a shot. Because, well, maybe they should be taller so they will grow up more. Maybe it's good. Yeah, but that's why I made the dough first to show you how to do it, and then I'm gonna show you how to make the dough. So, did I get the timer done? I don't know. Okay, Google, set timer to in halv time. So now I'm going to show you how to make the dough while this rises, and then we can chuck this in the oven, and then we can make something else out of the next piece of dough, and then we can show you how it looks when it's baked. Or maybe
Hmm.
turn off the stream fast if anything burns. That has happened.
That has happened.
It's because it was the last three I had had left, so that's why I put it in there. Mm-mm-mm. Where's the frosting recipe?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm so sorry, Yanks, but the frosting we're going to use today isn't your nasty cream field. This is just going to be a powdered sugar and water because you don't need to put all of that bad stuff on top of your cinnamon buns if you just make a nice cinnamon bun to start with. This should be the piece de la resistance. It shouldn't be, oh, I chucked on 45 gallons of cream cheese smothered with castor oil, motor oil. It makes me taste like grandma's kitchen.
Why? Why do you think we all sound like that? And what are we putting motor oil in our frostings? Good Lord. I can't with you. Don't talk about canned biscuits. He hates anything canned. He doesn't like box cakes mix. He gets mad at me all the time
Stop.
because I tell him
Stop.
there's a new recipe. What is it? Involve cake mix? I'm like, sorry, I'm not fancy like you. Nobody's ever offended by anything Baker says because it's so inaccurate.
Well, thank you. Well, the next part is to show you how to make the dough we just used. And again, it's a really easy dough. The recipe is in the description. No, it's on the Discord and it's on the community tab. This is how much we use. We use 7 ingredients: water, egg, yeast, sugar, salt, butter, and flour.
Mhm.
And I know when you look up online, they say, "Oh, put in the yeast." I use real yeast. Some use dry yeast, um, but I like to work with real yeast and put it in the water and dissolve it or the milk or whatever you're using. It'll be fine. You're using a mixer; it's gonna throw it all together. Doesn't matter. The only thing that's important because I like to weigh my stuff earlier so all of it has room temperature because as I told you yeast is a living organism. It really likes to be the same temperature as you are. So if everything is room temperature when you put it in, you know kind of how hot your water has to be. Your water has to be roughly, if you ever made a baby bottle, you know how you test it. The same temperature should be what your water has. Never put cold water in a yeast dough unless it's something you want to put in your fridge for the day after because yeast needs warmth to activate. It's a living organism. It and what you need yeast for is yeast. When it eats sugar, it produces CO2. So inside your dough, all these little yeast cells eating the sugar and making fats.
Oh my God. Someone.
And those fats are CO2. That makes the dough rise because the gluten in the dough, in the flour, which we make when we mix all of it, water and um, flour together in the mixer and make sure we make it tight. Um, that captures all of that
What kind of
nice.
flour do you use?
I use plain white wheat flour. Do I use some? Oh, this is special cake. No, because I've been a baker now for, well, I'm 27 years old, and I started when I was 14. No, when I was 16. So 11 years since 1994. Um, and I never ever met a baker who said, "Well, I can't make this dough without having the magical Glöfenöfen flour." It's the most easy, simple thing. Yeah, but you have those extra rising. Yeah, you don't need it. But they said on the package it's better for this. Yeah, you don't need it. It's just to sell you a more expensive product that doesn't really do anything. You can have something with
Mm.
enzymes in it. You can have something with more gluten in it. I use the cheapest basic white flour for this recipe because it's so simple. You just make sure that it's get enough time in the machine, or if you're doing it by hand, and it will work. This is a foolproof dough. You should really, if you can't make this, you should become a chef because they're useless. But I just use all purpose or whatever you call it. Straight white flour, you can use it with everything. It's the cheapest thing you have because the problem is flour isn't the same all the time. The gluten content, it's roughly the same. They'll try to mix it so they have the same product every time, but I'll show you in a bit where we look, oh, was it too much or too little? Do we need to add water or add flour? Everyone wants to tell you how important it is that you use. If you're making Italian doughs like ciabattas or pizza doughs, yeah, go for some durum or other high. It's what's called 00 tipo flours. Go for that because you need a lot of stretch in this. If you just need something to make a nice fluffy bun or a piece of cake or something, the cheapest flour you can get is absolutely great. Don't go around and believe all these people who said, "Oh, you need this magical flour." It doesn't matter. Way too many, and I have a buddy who works for a company that sells a lot of that, and that stuff is so. I pay 10 Danish for 12 Danish for around half no 4 pounds of flour. If I had to buy his the flour they sell, I think it's like 4 or 5 times as much for half of it. And yeah, it's something that they upscale from something else, and it's fancy. If I lived in Copenhagen, I would talk to all my friends about how cool I was. I had that flour, but I live in rural Denmark. This is about making something that's easy, something that works. Simple yeast, uh, buck byproduct, flour, salt, sugar, and a bit of water, and some either butter or margarine. You'll be fine. You don't
Margarine.
have to do all the fancy stuff. It doesn't make the product better if you're not a good baker. Those are the last 5% you can do anything with. If you just want to impress your kids tomorrow by making fresh cinnamon buns, do this. Don't go out there and buy oh, this cinnamon was extracted by a virgin who was riding on the back of a unicorn, and that's why you have to pay $45 for it. Doesn't matter. Not important. The biggest scam in all of this food industry is making you believe you have to pay so much extra for something that won't work if you don't have the basic skills in. That's why the basic skills you need for this: make sure your ingredients are room temperature. So weigh them. If you're going to bake tomorrow, everyone wants to bake tomorrow because you've seen this today. You weigh it now. You put all of your ingredients in a bowl, leave it out on the tabletop tonight. Make sure no one gets in it. Then you chuck it in your mixer. The only thing I'll recommend is always putting salt and sugar in the bottom if you leave your yeast with it, because it's good to leave your yeast with it, because a lot of people forget the yeast, and then it's really boring. And your little buck byproduct. You leave that out for tonight. Chuck it in the mixer in the morning. Then you go grab some lukewarm water.
What is he doing? He gets to use his new mixer. I'm so excited. Well, I'm like half paying attention. I keep looking up and he's gone.
Then you have your water. Chuck your water in. Your buck byproduct. And your yeast. And I like to just mush my yeast up when I put it in, so it's easier to combine in the dough. Then just chuck your machine on and start it real slow. And I'm probably going to mute because this is noisy.
Is it though?
Tell me if it's too loud, Jamie.
No, I mean, I can't really hear it.
Jamie doesn't speak.
Hey, I'm talking. No, it wasn't loud at all, actually. I could barely hear it. So that's a good thing. Yeah, I think he muted anyway. But I could barely hear it. Well, he said I wasn't talking, didn't he? Maybe he can't hear me. How cool. Oh my God, Lefty. I don't know. I was talking. I thought he said he can't hear me, but oh well. Uh-oh. I know. You can turn it on, Baker.
Yes, I'm muted because this machine makes noise, and that's annoying. Now,
we couldn't hear it though. That was what we were telling you.
No, that's because I muted it.
No, you started it before you muted, and we couldn't hear it.
Oh, but I can't hear what you're saying. Now, when all of the ingredients kind of have combined, you just take it and you make a feel test. This one, it shouldn't be. This is very sticky. It should be a little less sticky than that. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of flour, and it's important that when you make a dough, especially a wheat dough, that you put in all of the flour as soon as possible, because when it's working, the flour will keep sucking water, or what's it called? It'll keep how would you say it keeps drawing water into it. It absorbs water. That's what I'm trying to say. So it keeps absorbing the water. So if I chuck flour in now and then I run it for 2 minutes, it's still a little bit too sticky. Then I chuck some more flour. Then maybe in 5 minutes it's super dry because flour keeps absorbing water. So that's why make your determination now. Say, well, I think it's about this much. You have to feel how it is. And again, every flour is different. So always when you read, like in this recipe, it's 600 grams of flour or bananas in American numbers. Um, it never put the full amount in because you don't know how it is. But again, the flour can change from every batch. So when everything is combined, feel it and say, I think it needs a little bit more or maybe a little more water, and just keep going. Because if you keep adding water, adding flour, adding water, adding flour, you'll end up with the driest product you'll ever have in your life.
Don't want that. Lefty, get out of here.
And how much do I put in? I don't know. It's I'll try and then I'll run it some more, and then bacon isn't so much about cups and grams and stuff like that. It's more like it's more about how you feel, and uh, and and that's the important part. And you need to do it a lot to do it, and you will make mistakes. I have
Hmm.
burned more bread than you have ate in your life. Eaten maybe is the right word. So just uh just go with it, man.
Yes, Scott. This is his first time using it on stream. I haven't been watching that case, Stephen. So cool. Yes, I'm on my phone. That's normally what I use. Why? Hi, Ghost Fox. Yeah, that's how it is. Sorry. Probably. It'll probably break his finger for sure. Why are you trying to fight me today, Lefty? I am sorry. Glen White, House Long to Miss. Can't you mix it too much? I don't bake, so I have no idea what's going on. Aw, you adopted a puppy, Carlene? Aw. Well, 3 years old. Still puppy to me. That's so sweet. Shut up, Legendary. I'm trying to work and like look at the same time and I'm distracted. What else is he? German Shepherd and what? Do you know? I love licorice. It's one of my favorite things, but you guys talk about salty licorice all the time, and I don't know what that is. Oh, I know. It's fun, isn't it?
So, a few questions while I was mixing.
Yeah.
Can I make bread on this? Yes, I can. This is, as I said, you can use this as a dough for a bun or stuff like that. Uh, this is a really good machine. It's really powerful, and as you can see, the only problem you have with it, it's a dancer, because um, it really wants to move. The suction on it isn't the greatest, but how long do I mix it for? Well, again, it depends. I go by sound, so when I can hear the dough slapping on the side of the machine, I know. Well, now it's kind of finished. So you go by feel, and don't be afraid to give it a good slapping, because you need to build all that gluten inside of it, because that's what's going to keep all the nice farting from the yeast inside of your finished dough. And then you have a nice piece of dough that you can work with. This is how much is this in total? I can't remember how big the dough is. It's a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's almost a kilo of dough, so that's almost 2 pounds. And again, you can use it for whatever you need. And I always like to, when I take it out of the machine, just firm it up in a ball to stretch that gluten a little more and make sure everything is nice and tight. And then you let it rest for. Stop doing that. Then you let it rest for 15 minutes. It's so annoying this camera keeps switching. I just had the perfect position. And I always, a lot of people saying, oh, I cover it with a piece of cloth. No, cover it with plastic. That keeps the moisture in.
It's so pretty.
And if you're wondering what kind of plastic do you use, I just take one of these bags you use to chuck stuff in the freezer wherever you do it. Cut it open. Chuck it around it. And just let it rest and let the yeast do its magic. Now it needs like 15 minutes to grow. and then we'll make it into whatever we want to make it into afterwards. I'm going to show you a few things because people ask, could you use what else can you do with this dough? And I'll show you a few more options because again, this is very, very good for everything you need where you want to make something sweet, or you can make it cake, you can make buns, you can do whatever you want to do.
Mm.
I don't do voice enforcement. Will saran wrap? Yeah, that's plastic. The only problem is I think it's really bad. But really, it always um, it sticks together. This one will just work. This show is exciting as watching dough rise. That's why I talk, and Jamie is doing her interpretive dancing. Smack
Yeah.
it again. 2 pounds, 2 ounces a kilo. Yeah, that's probably right. I believe that every day is new jury pool. More and more of them are coming in, knowing more and more about the case. Mainstream media is late to the bandwagon, but now it's everywhere. Yeah, and I saw that Emily D. Baker picked up on it. Was it Wednesday or
Yeah.
Thursday? She
Something like
has
that.
a massive YouTube channel. She's the biggest law YouTube thing online. So that'll get a lot of traction. But I said this from the beginning that this case is going to Barbara Streisand the hell out of it. That is beautiful. And it's super simple. And again, you don't need anything. Well, the fancy thing is the nice machine all you nice people gave me, but you could make this by hand because it's such a simple dough, and you can use it for everything if you want to. I could even make pizza dough, pizza bottoms out of it. It wouldn't be good pizza because it's a very it'll rise a lot, but you could use it for that. But if you want to make hot dog buns, if you want to make burger buns, that's good for that as well. If you want to make, I'm going to show you. I have some more of the filling, so I'll try to show you some more things that you can make with this, other than cinnamon buns. I have this as my baseline dough. This and short crust dough. If you are pretty decent and do it at doing those two doughs, you can make something for everyone, and everyone will say, "Oh, you're an amazing baker," because you just have to do it a couple of times, and then you will know how it must feel when you touch it, and you'll know how to roll stuff out and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And when you do that, it'll be good. It's not like it's hard to do. Uh, that's why I'm always saying that the only reason bakers make money on making stuff like this is because we have better machines and we have water in our ovens in the bakeries. That's why it comes out better than that what you make at home. It's and of course we know by touchy feely, but if you wanted to make a white loaf, white bread loaf to make sandwiches of, you could use this dough as well because it's full of yeast and sugar, so it'll blow up and be very nice. It'll be a little sweeter, but again, salt and sweet goes good together.
It does.
Bow chicka bow bow. You leave it in the mixer bowl. Is that bad? Well, it's not. I could have, but I like to take it out and doing the twisting thing that I do with it to just tighten up the gluten even more. But I could take it up, put it back in the mixer bowl, and just put some plastic over the mixer bowl. Don't put cloth over it because it'll evaporate the moisture. And right now, we want to keep as much moisture inside the dough, so the yeast has a nice little spot to hang out and do all its farting. So you get a nice, soft, fluffy dough. But you can put it in just put it back in your mixer bowl, and then preferably you can set it if you have an oven built into your stove and you're preheating it. Set it on top of that so it's nice and warm. That'll make it rise even faster because, again, heat activates the dough, the yeast. So, yeah, that's a great thing. EDB knows Alan Jackson, so I think she's personally interested. Yeah. Well, again, that's why it's so great that the Karen Reed case. If you want to have a, I don't know, what's woke. If you want to have that, you can go to EDP. If you want to have, uh, okay, Google, stop. If you want to have a more local, okay, Google, stop. If you want to have a more, sorry for all of those people who now have a Google saying you don't have anything planned. If you want to have a more local chat, you can go watch Turtle Boy. If you want to have, Sean's perspective, you can go. I don't know if he's going to stream it or he's going to dual stream it. If you want to have a weird goat herder and a weird Dane talk about it, you come to my chat. That's the beauty about YouTube. There's someone for everyone. You don't have to stick around where you don't like it. Firm dough wrapped. Thank you, Carly. Let's hope it does it after. Is it genuine Swedish licorice available in US? Like listening to EDP, don't like a chat, too big, too strict. Yeah, that's always the problem because I've been growing very, very big. Yeah, you know how fat I am, but also my channel, and you will get people in here who doesn't like it when Lefty calls me a left-handed wanker, and they might leave again, or I might. I have imposed some rules on chat, and that's why I say when we get a little heated and we get into a discussion, let me yell at people because that's my chat, and we have Nima here today. I so much love to have Nima here a day where we don't have to argue because I love everyone, but I love to argue as well. That's the problem because I used to be in politics, but there's something for everyone, and of course you can't go full late in French, which is retard in chat. But I like it a little more spicy.
Mm-hmm.
But are you left-handed? No, that's why my watch is on my left hand. It's because I'm right-handed. Let's argue about something. Yeah, let's argue. Should I use 1 or 2 eggs for my egg wash?
1.
Opposite positions.
Is it 2? I don't know. I don't think I've ever egg washed anything in my life. So I'm not the person to ask. I guess not. I guess I haven't lived a day in my life since I haven't egg washed anything. What would, no, never mind. I've only ever made cinnamon rolls from the can. Is that bad?
So when I do my egg wash, I just use some egg and some milk and a little bit pinch of salt. Again, the sweet, the savory, and why I use milk instead of using water. Some uses water. I think it adds a little bit to the shine of the cakes when it's done. I don't know if it's true, but that's just I learned to do it back when I was an apprentice, and I just stuck with it. So you just take an egg, some milk, little pinch of salt, and mix it up. And I like to do it in a cup so I don't mess everywhere. But yeah,
What did you
that's
mix up? What is it?
egg, 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 milk, and salt. I said it 5 times.
Why are you yelling it back at me? Like, I could understand you, but I didn't remember what else you put in there. Egg,
Milk and salt.
milk, and
Milk,
salt.
you know, the cow byproduct.
Milk. Okay.
Milk. Moo juice.
Moo juice.
Yeah, cow juice.
Okay.
No honey. No, because this is just to make it shine on top. Um, so one of the juries from you last night, it was a 30-year-old juror. I think he convinced the holdouts to swear to guilty. Yeah, and he failed because he testified, and they thought he threw the first punch even though no one saw it. And that's why I'm saying to all the people who are thinking, oh, Karen Reed, because all the evidence is really strong. In our opinion, not all people's opinion, don't trust the jury.
I am Dave. Yes, that's what he said. Egg, milk, and salt.
Yeah. Fedorowski has another video. So when you're done asking me how I made this with egg, milk, and salt, you can go watch that.
He keeps saying egg. Oh, I love
It's
you.
an egg.
You're hilarious.
What else would you call it? A chicken byproduct. It's chicken juice in a round shape.
It's a chicken baby.
No, because it's not fertilized.
No, it's not fertilized. Yeah.
What type of milk do I use? The one I have in the fridge. Celestial Force, the 30-year-old doesn't understand when you hit a certain age and get injured, it doesn't always heal and take. Yeah.
He thinks if he screams things louder, we'll understand.
I don't scream. I just have to be very sure you hear me. I can't hear my output, so I'm not used to talking into this microphone. And I was told on that my other microphone was very low. Why don't I just dehydrate everything? Because you dehydrate fruit and then you never eat it. But you think, oh, I'm going to live healthy from now on, so I'm going to buy a lot of dehydrated pineapple. Start tasting your food. Yeah. Could I put honey and butter in an egg wash? Why would you? I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. Or just put a lot of sugar on top of and even more fat. You can do whatever you like. Play around with it. Yeah. I don't need a Snickers bar. I need Jamie to listen when I talk to her. She doesn't watch the show. She doesn't listen to me.
He's killing me. He's sitting here telling me he's not screaming at me, but he's screaming at me.
And now you just take your mixture
Oh my God.
of
I adore you.
egg, milk,
His his milk.
milk, and a little bit of a pinch of salt, and you apply it ever so gently all around the nice little snails, as we call them in Denmark. Cinnamon, some things you call it in the US. So it's nice and and it gets so shiny when it's done. I can't yell because Jamie gets mad at me because I'm yelling, so she'll yell at me. So I'm gonna talk like I'm talking to a 5-year-old.
Oh boy.
And just a good washing, because it doesn't hurt it. It makes the dough a little wet when it goes into the oven. It gives it a little bit. That's what bakers we have water connected to your oven, so you can put in a little steam when you put in your dough. Because if you have your dough when it comes in, it sets really fast, and then it just cracks when it because it continues to rise inside the oven. So you if you apply a little bit of moisture, it can grow more when it comes in. Doesn't come inside. That's not the word. When it goes inside. Oh, when it's in the oven. And just to make everyone happy, I'll just chuck a little bit of more of the cinnamon sugar on top of it. So
Just
it tastes,
chuck some cinnamon sugar.
yeah, just to make it more cinnamon in it, because you Americans like the cinnamon. I have that big red. That's nasty.
I just love the way he says that all the time. I'm gonna just chuck some more cinnamon on these rolls.
Not yet. Snickers fantasy, you will be nice to Jamie. I'm always nice to Jamie. It's Jamie who doesn't listen to me. Someone should chuck Jamie a Snickers fund.
I wish they would, to be honest with
Who?
you. Sounds
When did you ever
delicious.
say that? I said it on stream yesterday, Jamie. Yeah, I wasn't watching. You were on the stream, was I?
Was I? I mean, I wasn't.
Mhm.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Okay, Google. Set timer til 10 minutter. Well, now we have this piece of dough, so let's try to make something else out of that. Why am I making sounds like Thomas Randolph? Let me get away. Just gonna try. That's probably too much. Let's do this one. And after your dough has rested for these roughly 15 minutes, you have to deflate it so the yeast can start rising again. Not the south, the yeast. That was a Civil War joke, Jamie.
Oh.
But let's try something different. Let's make some. We call for birthday parties. We always have buns and cocoa before we have cake, so you don't fill up on cake. We do anyway. So, but you can again, you just bake them a little bigger, chuck some sesame seed on them. Then it's a turkey bun.
Chuck some sesame seeds on them. Are you eating all these cinnamon rolls when you're done?
No, I'm gifting them to someone. I don't eat that much cake. I'll have one or two, but Jamie, I'm trying to get a little fit before I have to go out with Danielle, so she doesn't laugh at me.
Oh, she's not gonna laugh at you.
No, she's just gonna cry that she has to spend time with me.
Whatever. We've already seen what you look like.
Yeah, but again, that's from the top up. That's not the. It's not the clay dough parts of me.
No, you've stood up, putting your little things on the wall. People see what you look like, and you've showed us your legs multiple times, so we are very
Yeah,
aware.
my chicken legs.
You do have like you have chunky little calves and like little thighs. But you said it was the angle, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
The amount of hatred
It's not hatred. And what are you making?
I'm making buns, Jamie.
Oh,
I just
buns.
told you.
Okay. Sorry.
Kan I det svingende?
Okay.
The roll will stick. Mm-hmm. Some buns in the oven. Yeah. I put a pan of water in your oven when I preheat it. I wouldn't put it in there when I preheat it. I would put it in just as I put in, just put in like 6 inches of water when in. If you have like one of those tin foil pans, chuck some water in. Leave the pan in there when it preheats, and then you chuck the water in, because the second you put the water in and then you open the oven to put in your buns, you let all the moisture out. So just put it in there when you put the bread in. There will be perlesukker. Yes, it does, but we'll cover it with a lot of glazing. How are we doing the gender reveal? You're going to be the best Mr. Mom since Arnold. Well, thank you.
Aww.
I just saw it today, so I thought I'll try it. No, I didn't. People are so mean today. What in God's holy name are you blathering about to the Google machine? Take these monies before Jeff steals them tonight. Well, I was blathering about sitting a timer for 10 minutes, but thank you so much, Brandon. Here are 5 American big ones to make Jamie cry.
Why? Why do you
I
want to
don't
hurt
know.
me
Ask
today?
Rusty. He is like talk like Julia Childs. How does Julia Childs talk?
I don't know.
I put these at 50 grams. That's normally the bun size. I like it's good with a piece of charcuterie or a piece of cheese on it. Tastes good. Never trust a skinny baker.
No.
Thank you, Lefty. That's the nicest thing someone said to me today. Baker, there is nothing wrong with you. You are very handsome and fit. Well, Colleen, thank you. Yes, 6 inches is everything. She lived at Brattle Street in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We painted her wrought iron fence when you were kids. Oh, how cool. What's the cooking time? Roughly 10 minutes. I always start with 10 minutes with these softer doughs because I don't want them too... I like them a little underbaked. Some people like them very much burnt to death, but that's how I make my pizza, not my cakes. And again, when you make your buns, just take your hands. Oh, I should show this one at a time. If you put your hand at a slight angle and your fingers under, it's really hard to show, but you do kind of like the claw, and then you just roll it in a circular motion, and you get the perfect little bun where everything is tight in the bottom. That keeps it that dough shape, because a lot of people are doing like this, and then you don't have one seam. If you do it like this and just roll it against your hand with the claw, you get a perfect little knob in the bottom. It's just to make it look good. It tastes the same, but it's just it feels more pro. And when you become really pro, you do it with 2 hands, or your boss will yell at you saying you're wasting time, just like Jamie does all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, this chat is crazy.
Can you be a pro and show your wife that ball handling technique? Thanks in advance, Brandon. Well, I'm not sure you want quite that ball handling technique, because the trick is, as you can see, I have dough residues on this part of my hand, because you roll the dough into that part and kind of tightens it up, so the motion will be quite firm. I'm not sure you like that. Um, you want more of this motion, but I can show your wife this motion. Maybe you like the other motion. Who am I to judge? Thank you so much, Brandon. I like that you're not being delicate with the dough, like it will break. Dough won't break. Well, it will if you are too tough with it, but this is full of gluten, because again, it's a good simple dough, and it'll go back and rise again after. So we can treat it really mean until it stretches too far. But this is a dough that's made for working. And the funny part, a lot of people think that, oh, we should be so delicate. No, it's a craft. It's a hand job, as most kids would call it. Just throw some power into it. The more power you put into it, most times the better it'll be. Because what I'm about to do with this now is I'm going to give it a rolling pin. And like any husband who came home too late and the wife had the rolling pin out knows, it stretches a lot and it hurts even more. So, and you want to kind of give it this stretching of the gluten. It's good for it. And then you'll, like I said before, take it up and kind of do, I don't know what you would call it, just let it constrict again, and then you roll it out a bit more. Okay, Google, stop. And then you give it a flippity flop again. Okay, Google, set timer til 5 minutter. Okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, stop. Oh, fucking. Okay, Google, set timer til 4 minutter.
I don't know. He's just all over the place.
Rodney Kind baby beat that dough like a... every effing time. Thank you so much, Brandon. Hey, you lady in the back. Most kids, not most kids. Brandon, you get me. If you don't do this step, the buns get hard, compact, and sad. Exactly. If you don't roll them up real tight and let all the old CO2 out of it, because that will kill the yeast. And now it has to rise again for 45 minutes. Yes. Would this make a good bread loaf dough? If you like a sweeter dough, I make it into buns. You can make it into a loaf. It's, again, this can be anything. This could be Amsterdam or Paris and around Rome. You can make almost anything with this kind of dough. It's again, if you like a sweet dough. Would I make a sandwich bread with it? Probably not, but you could do it. If you just, this is what, if you need one dough in your back pocket that could make you seem like you knew how to bake, this is a good way to do this, to start. Yeah, that's why I got stuck on it. I thought, isn't it Roddy King? Yeast rolls are the best. Can you make pretzels? I never made a pretzel in my life. Can I use milk instead of water? Yeah, sure you can. Will it do much for it? No. Uh, I know a lot of people like to do stuff like this with milk. You can. I use water. Doesn't it does to me it doesn't make a difference. When I'm making those pretzels, when I figure out how to do that. Well, let's try to do another kind of cake because now we're just going to do a simple, like a groove down the middle, and then we're going to put on more of the filling. Boom, 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 boom. Problem is, I have too much filling now. I shouldn't have made those buns. I should have made something different. Well, that's the first world problem.
Yeah.
And again, how much do you put in? Yeah, you kind of get. I think I used too much for the cinnamon rolls because they're in a tin, so they're gonna boil in the sugar. This probably make them nice and fluffy. But just put an okay amount on it. And how much is an okay amount? I don't know. It's kind of what you like. Jamie, do you like apples?
Yes.
How about them apples?
How about apples? Is that
It's
more
because
butter?
I was standing over there and thought, well, I'd just take some apple puree and
And put it in the. Oh, look at that. Is that applesauce?
so
Applesauce? Is that what that is?
okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, sæt alarm til 2 minutter. Sæt alarm til 2 minutter.
He's crazy. Oh, Brandon, you're killing me. I can. I'm not in charge of comments. He's doing it himself. He's already get back.
Sorry.
Pull
Pull what
up
up for me?
Brandon. Brandon sent a super chat again.
I recommend applying 6 inches first and then playing it by ear. Yeah, my problem is I can't apply 6 inches at a time. That would be at least 3 or 4 attempts. Thank you, Brandon. No, it's apple. It's not apricot. You love
It's
pork and
applesauce. Is it applesauce?
Yeah, it's just some pureed apples. It was just to
So
make something different. And yeah, I know I said fruit in cakes are gross, but that's if you have you could chuck some apple chunks into this, but I don't like baked food. I like marmalades and stuff. Jam is what you call it. I like that in here because it's just a little more sugar. So a good little. Okay, Google, stop. Okay, Google, stop. I don't have a dog. I said stop. It's Jamie's dog.
Yeah.
Chunky Buns. It's the innuendos that go into bacon. Love this chat. Well, thank you. Because do you know what goes good with apple, Jamie?
I like applesauce.
Do you know what goes well with apple? I didn't ask if you
What?
liked apple. More cinnamon, because Americans like cinnamon,
Chuck all
just
that
like
cinnamon in there.
because we like licorice. So let's chuck some more. Come out. Oh, that's maybe a little bit too much. Someone's going to get killed by that. And we'll take our. Where the hell did I put that one now? Jamie, I'm thinking I'm going insane. Oh, that's gone. We're going to do this. And then we'll just give it a nice little smirchy smooch. And can we make it simple or fancy?
Mm,
I love that you don't listen. Should we make it simple or fancy?
fancy.
Okay, so we're gonna do some fish bones on the side of it.
Mm.
And how big? Yeah, about that size. And you just cut it all the way down. And then you start on the left, go over with the right, and then it looks like you braided it.
Aw.
Again, super easy, but it looks fancy, and your mom will say, "Oh, honey, you're so good at baking." Yeah, I learned it from that Danish guy. Oh, what's Denmark? Is that the place in California? No, it's somewhere in Europe. Oh, I'd like to go to Europe. They have Paris there. Yeah, he doesn't like Paris. Hilton? No, the city. But then you get a nice little. It looked like Penilla's hair. Well, I can't do it because I'm right-handed. I worked with a guy who was left-handed, and it was really annoying because uh, we have these big tables. So one starts in one end, and the other one starts in the middle, and you'll just go. So you have to agree on which side you start on because you will run all of a sudden the opposite way. I made his own telenovela. I should do. Fancy in baking usually always meant adding brandy, according to my grandpa. Yeah, yeah. Maybe after I braid some dough, she'll go to Denmark. Well, maybe she should come to Denmark and I can braid it. Is there cinnamon in that? Yeah, we put some cinnamon. You don't need it. It's just, it was more to showcase that you can make a. I'll just wait for my pan to cool down, and then I'll show you what I want to do with this. I should visit Solvang. It's kind of like going to Disney World for Danish people. We just stand around and say, "What?" Because their version of Denmark hasn't existed in the last 150 years. When I was in Illinois, right next to the border to Iowa, there's a Danish town up there as well. They made a TV show about it, and the customs that they kept is something we. I don't think it ever was something in Denmark, but they believed it was very Danish. It's so fun. Denmark is impossible to travel to. You bigots hate foreigners. Well, just do the same trick you do when you come into America. Travel to Greece and walk up. Can you deep fry this dough? Why would you?
We deep fry everything. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you can. So all other. It's more the shapes I'm gonna do. Denmark, Disney. Yeah, that's the people. You've been to Solvang. You have to talk about that tomorrow. Just backstroke it over. Yeah, just jump in the water down in North Africa and backstroke it. Then we'll be fine. You can
Yeah,
stay here after.
no problem. Yeah, we do deep fry everything, Kaiser.
Now we're going to make it real fancy, Jamie. We're going to turn it up to 11 at least.
11?
Yeah.
Does it even go that high?
On Fridays, we do.
Mm.
We made a little kringle. Or as a pretzel, as you will call them. Ta-da. Clap, please.
Cool. Look at it. It's so pretty. It looks like a snake.
Yeah, I think we. I can't remember. We talked about. She lived in. Did she live on in Jutland somewhere? I believe it. Yeah, Kringle. And it's gonna get the right kind of sugar and a little bit of nuts. A pretzel pastry, fancy, nice job, baker. Thank you, Celestial. See, Jamie, someone appreciates my work.
Listen, I appreciate you.
I could have made it into a ring, but I know Americans understand the pretzel. Hopefully not. Well, and now I'm going to make my frosting, and all Americans will say, but hey, man, there's no cream cheese in that. That's no frosting. And I'm going to
Why
say,
do we keep... Why do we now sound like Kermit the Frog?
I make a perfect American impression, and this is how all Americans, just ask Fedorowski and Panella, this is how American sounds to us.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I mean, she could be dead, but she could have a hot daughter too. Yeah, maybe she has a hot granddaughter. I don't know how long ago it was she was in the U.S. Maybe it's Panilla, because Panilla was an au pair in the U.S. See, Lefty understands my accents.
It does, though. It does. Oh my god, I forgot about that. That was funny. How many sets of buns did he put in? He has cinnamon rolls, buns, and then a steak. I know Volstorm. Oh my
She's
gosh.
probably mid 40s. Well,
Don't say it.
if you have her number, I'll go check up on her. Give her a welfare check. Just make sure there's oil on the engine if you catch my drift. And this is not what you call frosting. Yeah. No, I'm just I like a cougar. I'm 27 years old. This is just powdered sugar and water that you mix up. Make sure it's not way too runny, because then it will just run off. Nobody does a Euro-American accent better than the baker. No,
Nope.
I am, for a guy who has absolutely no hint of an accent in real life, I do a great impression. You were an au pair in 87, 88. My brother was in New Jersey in 85, 86. This is when the magic happens. Yeah. Suck, because unless you had a good family, you were just stranded with a bunch of monsters. My sister, she was with, she had 3 different host families. And let's just say there's a big difference on which host family you get as an exchange student. The ones I visited her with, they were really great. And others, not so much. That was, she was given the Harry Potter treatment. Just stay in your room and shut up. That's not nice. Icing, and that's really the same. No, it's, yeah, but we call that royal icing. You were in New Jersey as well. Maybe no, that was a year later, so you didn't know him. LA forum, because that's where the magic happens. Yeah. Oh, I have to remember everyone. Please go join the Discord and vote in what we should call the Discord. And please go sign up for jury duty. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. we will have the jury selection for our mock trial, which will be held. No, yeah, will be held next Saturday at 2 p.m. Today we should hopefully get the notice out to potential jurors, so they know that they have to be there tomorrow at 2 p.m. where we will do a voir dire. And remember, the best jurors are the ones who believe the prosecution.
All right. Yeah, he's. I just looked at some of the names on there. I'm trying to do like baker puns. I don't know who made them up though.
And I don't know how you like your icing on yours, but I just like them nice and in the center because I think it makes them look good.
Oh yeah, you don't like it sloppy like we do it.
No, these are a little too hot, so they will be very runny. But normally I'll let them cool down just to show the process, man. So
Oh
we don't have all that dead air. Nope, I still can't take the phone. Bum, 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 bum. And again, if you are one of those people who like cream cheese thingy thing on your cakes, look up a recipe and make it. Everything is scalable, adjustable, and you can make it to your liking. So,
Cream
Jamie,
cheese icing is yummier.
cinnamon buns.
Look at them.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it. Good job. It's his mixture that he made of frosting. He's got to be all dainty about it.
And now to the next part. We just give the buns a good egg wash again all over so it's nice and shiny and doesn't crack too much. Don't be too rough on it at this stage because now we want all the air to stay inside of them. The
Egg
time for
wash
roughness is
those
gone.
too?
Now it's time for gentle stroking of the buns.
Christ. I know, right? He could have just opened up a tuba.
Yeah, but compared to doing this with a tube, you use less money and it's healthier because you don't get all those ingredients that has to preserve them through the next millennia.
Oh, how precious. Greedy. Don't make him start again. He's gonna start yelling at us.
Yeah, and the big problem is a lot of people are thinking, "Oh, yeah, but it's so easy." Yeah, it is. But again, we've been here streaming for 2 hours. I just put 12 buns in the oven. Giggity. I made 6, 12. I made 15 cinnamon rolls, and I made a cake that'll last. You could feed 8 to 12 people off of that. All I
8 to
needed
12.
was 2 eggs, 100 grams of yeast, half a liter of water, roughly how much? 2.5 pounds of flour, a little salt, a little sugar. And for the filling, cinnamon, apple, butter, sugar. Everyone can do this at home, but a lot of people are afraid to do it because, oh, I'll f this up. Yeah, probably the first time. The second time, you'll figure out, oh, this is how I need to do with the buns, and that's the feeling I need to have in my hands. And then you can do this, and it doesn't take you. You just measure up the ingredients the day before. If you have a mixer, you just chuck all of it in. Make sure that the water to flour ratio is okay. Let it run for. I think I gave mine like 5 minutes today. Just give it a good beating. 15 minutes on the table. Either you roll it out to make the cinnamon buns, or you divide it out to what you need it to be. Let it rest for around 45 minutes. When you finished with it, chuck it in the oven for however long it'll take, between 10 and 20 minutes. Make some icing, and you can have everything fresh within an hour.
Nice.
That's how much time does it take to go to the store, buy a can of whoopie dough, and make that at home? Yeah, it takes 15 minutes. How much more does that cost?
I don't know. They're like $1.
Yeah, that's because there's probably less artificial. There's probably it's healthier to eat the wrapping than it is to eat the dough. Handle balls with care, hit like for baker's buns. Thank you so much, Irish. They do look pearly. Uh, it's like making babies. You can do it with a tube, but it's more fun the old-fashioned way. Yeah, and again, there's a certain pleasure in serving something for your friends that you made yourself. Yeah, and that's the way you have to go about it. Never stop trying. You're not going to beat it on stream. Well, you can't see what my other hand is doing. Racy Ho now Baker has fresh cinnamon rolls, and he doesn't even left house to go to the store. Yeah, well, I did it before. The Mercedes. I saw. I don't know if you saw it yesterday. They have a Le Mans car built to size, standing in the Lego house right now. baking is great for introverts. No, it's a great way to make friends. Go give some of your cinnamon buns to your neighbors. Well, I don't know, but yeah, it's a good way to talk to people. Hey, T Rex.
Hi, T-Rex.
Yeah, everything is better made from scratch, and that's just if you want a good Philly cheesesteak, you want to taste the cow. You don't want to wonder if it said buck buck or moo before they made it. Well, chuck it at the neighbors then. Just let it bake a little longer. From scratch for sure. Yeah, and it's again, it doesn't take much. This when you get the feeling for the dough, it's so easy to, and you can add every. Today we use some applesauce. You could use you could put cream in there. You can't put cheese in there. That's against the law. Uh, you could put I don't know, raspberry jam. You could put chocolate in there. Uh, Again, this dough and short crust dough is the two doughs you just have to have in your arsenal, and then you can make everything. You can make anyone happy at a party if you have those two in your arsenal. I lost friends that way. They think it's weird when I ask them to glaze my buns. Yeah, but parents just don't understand. Your firefighters love your cinnamon rolls. I bet they do. Yes, Robocut's favorite dish.
Applesauce.
I'm not sure, but Kranz, which is the same thing, just a different shape, is from the Viking Age, but not sure which country it originated or if it was imported at some point. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, vanilla cream is really good, but Americans think, oh, cream, that's cream cheese. I really like that cream cheese thing from Philadelphia. Yeah, it is pretty easy. And again, don't don't believe it's too hard. Everything it's just like working out or whatever you want to do in life. Uh, just ask Jamie, was it hard the first time you were on camera on YouTube?
Yeah.
Did you think you could do it, or did you think you
No.
were going to be weird and just sit there?
I'm so weird, but yeah, it's
And
better now.
yeah, and some people will never get over that weird feeling of on being on cam. That's why I like having my finger cam. Um, but just start doing it, and if it again, it's so cheap. If you mess it up, you can try again. Arsenal,
Yep,
and
exactly.
arsenal is where you keep your weapons. Will you do a stream for the short crust though? I have it on my baking list, but I will get back to when I don't have cases. I'll try and do more baking. No, I said arsenal. You American. I'm going to turn the stream around, Jamie. I'm going to leave. Then
Okay,
you can.
bye.
Okay, bye.
No, I was
Jamie has to
kidding.
con.
Don't leave me. This is why I like being second chair, because I don't got to do much. I
Oh, now she needs me. Oh, that's funny.
do. I always need you. Hey, Just Don, how are you?
No, but I love I love to bake. I don't do it enough because I stream way too much. But I love to teach people or help people figure out because a lot of people thinking, "Oh, this is so hard." I bet you
Hmm.
FD Food Fairy when people
Yes, they
asking her
did.
to make a steak, they it's too hard to to make a steak. No, you just need to learn it, and it's the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I was a crappy baker the first day I stepped into a bakery,
Hmm.
but repetition, it's just like anything else in life. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yep, for sure.
How did we meet? Well, it was a brisk summer morning. I was out walking my dog in the park, and all of a sudden, I saw this lady being dragged behind her Dalmatian in the other direction, and my Dalmatian went after it, and we got tangled up in the dog strings, and we ended face to face. No, that's not our origin story. The 101 Dalmatian. Jamie, tell him while I take things out of the oven.
Uh, I think I remember him from David's stream. He came on David's stream and was his good old baker self. And then we got his channel going, and he decided he wanted to start streaming. And he asked me if I wanted to come hang out, and I did, and here we are. Nothing. It wasn't too crazy. It's pretty much it. We just like to have fun. Baker's a pretty funny guy. I get his sense of humor. He gets mine. We're ridiculous. That's pretty much what it is. there's there's not really anything special to it. He just started. We were Yeah, he was. Well, he had his channel and he came into David's and he's like, I have a channel. And everybody was like, what is it? So we went and looked at it and it was all in Danish and no one could understand it. But we were trying to give him watch hours anyway. And then he did his first stream in English. So we all went over there to watch it. And he was so nervous and it was funny. But it all worked out. Yeah. I'm more curious on how he found Dave. Like, where did that come from? But he's not doing anything, Iris. He keeps leaving. Thank you, Wicked. You're going to get another dog. Just Dawn. You can never have too many. I want like 17 more, but you want me to co-host from my kitchen? I'm so lame. I don't know how to bake. I'm very basic. And I never measure anything. Everything I make is just like I eyeball it and then hope it turns out well. I have 2 dogs and a cat. The cat hates everybody. The dogs love each other. It's a fun little setup. And then my sister brings her dog over a lot, so they all play outside, and it's so cute. Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah, we do okay together. I love David and I miss David, but he doesn't stream anymore, so here I am with Baker because we really like the trial stuff. So I found somebody that really likes what I like. So it works out very well. Yeah, I think he came over around the Letitia Stonk trial, if I remember. I don't think I ever asked him like how he found David or whatever. He just showed up one day and he was hilarious in the chat. And then, he got noticed. So we would promote his channel and went over
Sorry,
and hung
Jamie.
out with him. No,
My
you're fine.
brother just called, and I have to make a redaction. I have lied to all of you, and I'm so sad about it.
What?
My brother never. Uh, he wasn't in New Jersey,
He wasn't?
and I said New Jersey. He was on Long Island.
Oh.
That's
Did he call you to tell you that?
yeah, because something to do with Jersey, and I lied, Jamie. Can you forgive me?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll take the kernel and make that ready to go in the oven, and hopefully you'll forgive me. Brandon won't forgive me.
Yeah. Wait, what did you say?
New Jersey, New Island, it's the same to us. Exactly. You've been to Long Island? Oh, he called because he was watching my stream. Someone watches my streams, Jamie.
I can't believe it.
No, you're just sitting here thinking, who are these 86 people and why?
Yeah, why?
It's just because they want to see a glimpse of those luscious lashes.
Sorry. They're not very luscious. Then my cycle's going crazy this week. So they're non-existent. Makes me sad.
Why do we talk about your cycles?
Lash cycle. My lash cycle.
Mm-hmm. You can't judge it, Bailey, solely upon the slum you were in. Head inland, young lady. Hey, Ralphie. So nice to see you.
18.
Stupid.
You got it.
They have it. I hate it when they make. Oh, we made such a smart little flappy flap that you can pull out, and it doesn't work because it's crap.
Oh, I hate those. Yep. Hi, Ralphie. 5 stars.
But on this one, I'll just chuck some. I don't know what you call it. We call this pearl sugar. It's a higher granulate sugar.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we use normally on birthday, kind of.
I don't know what we call
And
it.
then a little hazelnut just to make it fancy.
Yes, all your hair has cycles. Great success. Just so you know.
I don't know why this turned into a female cycle channel.
He hates it when I talk chick stuff. Well, you experience it too. It's not just a girl thing.
Okay, Google, set timer til et kvarter. That is what should go on top of the cinnamon rolls. No, because you need glasur on top of them. It's a cycle stream now. Yeah, the technical term is a flappy flap. It's pearl sugar because, as you can see, it clearly states.
You know he does.
Pearl sugar. Your hair doesn't cycle. I don't allow it in my household.
He's so ridiculous today. Oh.
Yeah, I do need a wireless headset. Yeah, but they didn't invent kanelsnegle. That's ours. Do I make caramel rolls? No. I don't do much with. I'm not a fan of. Well, I do like a sundae with caramel, but I never really baked any. Do I bake anything with caramel? No, I don't really think so.
I don't know.
Someone said Flappy Fish Market. Thank you, Brandon.
Flappy fish market.
Get Valhalla to come over. It's his beer. Gym, tan, laundry, look fresh, then hit the club.
Is that what you do, Brandon?
Kangaroos have flappy flaps for their babies. Howington sentence just landed. Oh. The good secret to a good caramel roll is not corn syrup, it's whipping cream. Oh.
My goodness.
Well, that's a good point because now I have no more baking. Now we're just waiting for the last thing to be done. So we should go in and maybe I can find that sentence. We followed that Howington case, Jamie.
Yeah, I don't want to hear all the victim
if it's done now,
statements.
yeah.
I just want to know what it was.
Hey, Amanda Marie. Well, welcome to the Baking Bakes. Tennessee mom got 22 years at 85% in sentence. Well, I'll go find it now. But thank you so much, Erin. You were born in 85. I don't think we had au pair. She's 87, 85, though. Oh, Brandon is just a kiddo. What is GTL life? Huh?
Gym Tan Laundry.
Well, I'm going to do this.
Nope. Going back to the studio. Oh, the dad. He did. I mean, what an S show that whole thing was anyway. Talk about a crazy lady. It's what Guido's shore trash do. Well, I hate to admit, I did watch it because it was just a train wreck. And everyone knows I love a good trashy reality show. It was just horrendous, Panola. But I couldn't stop watching. I don't know what it is about like really trashy reality shows that makes me feel better about my life choices, but I like it. Have you been to the places they've been, Brandon? Because they did not look like they were too cool. They look pretty. They looked pretty trashy.
Who's too cool for school?
Oh, Brandon was talking about Jersey Shore.
Oh yeah, that was the show.
That was a classic trash reality show.
I never saw it because
Yeah.
I have class, I have style.
Only I also go there, Schomburg. People watching at the Walmart is especially trashy. They
I'm
do.
just looking up that sentencing and we can watch that one. I think we're going to listen to. I'm not going to do the full the the full hearing. We're going to do the dad's letter and then see the sentencing. What do you think about that, Jamie?
Sure.
Yes, I found his letter. For those of you who don't know, Jamie and I was covering the Robin Howlington case. It's about a month old, um, and she's getting sentenced today. And apparently, the dad wrote a pretty good letter for her. Just look at Baker's hair. You shouldn't look at my shirt because it's full of flour. I don't know why I always get flour everywhere when I bake. What's going on with my mic fading in and out? I don't know. I
Seems like
still feel I know too much about it since those Snooky and others were everywhere in newspapers and all sorts of time. Oh yeah, she's a bit thicker today. Well, prison food does people good. She claimed that first an unknown black guy came in, shot her daughter, and left. Then she claimed that some Mexican kids had talked about her boobage in a park, and she had said something to their parents, and then someone followed her home from the park, and an unknown black man came in and shot her child. Then she blamed her some crack addict her the daughter's father had shot her. Then she said it was the dad of the daughter, and she ended up claiming that it was her two-year old son who took a chair, walked into her to her closet, got the pew pew, went in and blew his 5 year old sister away right in front of her. They didn't buy that one.
it was hard to buy anything with her yapping her jaws so much.
Well, zero evidence. Well, they did find a gun right outside the house where she dropped it.
But no one knows what actually happened. It was so crazy.
No,
But she lied so much, it just messed everything up.
yeah, yeah. This problem was she had changed the story 6 times before it went to court, and she didn't take the stand, did she?
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did. Oh, I can't even remember it. She
Mm,
should have used a ninja defense, like every good
yeah,
person.
it wasn't. It wasn't the greatest.
No, but let's check this out.
Does have a victim impact statement that I'm going to read.
You're going to read it?
I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have a lot to say. I beg the court indulgence while I speak my piece because I found over the years I'm not always afforded an opportunity to say stuff, and I must speak the truth.
Oh, dude.
So this time, if for no other reason than that, this court is going to hear the truth. I can't speak for anybody else, but I can tell you if nobody else says it, I'm going to speak the truth, and this is it. Who knew that on September the 12th of 2019, that would be the last time that I got to see and spend time with my beautiful daughter, Destiny Jariah Oliver. She was absolutely the true definition of a daddy's girl. All Destiny ever wanted was to be with her daddy. Robin was jealous of our relationship and she couldn't stand it. Destiny was the best daughter that any father could have asked for. I was so excited to surprise my daughter and to have the opportunity to pick her up from school that Thursday. Her face always lit up when I arrived to get her, and that day was no different. I always made plans of doing a lot of fun activities with her after school when I was able to get her. That day was different, though. It was very special. First, we went and got food from her favorite place, Chick-fil-A. Next, we continued our journey to National Fitness Center off Walbrook Drive in Knoxville. She went swimming, and she also did rock climbing that day. After a few hours, we left there and went to Brewster's to get ice cream. We ordered our ice cream and sat on the bench and enjoyed it together. As we sat there, I looked at my baby girl. I knew something wasn't right, but I couldn't put my finger on it. We talked about what she wanted to be for Halloween and what she wanted for her 6th birthday that was coming up that was less than 4 weeks away. But that moment was extra special as I stared into my daughter's eyes, not knowing that it would be the last time of having her in my possession. My last time being able to do anything with my precious daughter. We left West Knoxville and headed back over towards Fountain City so that I could take her home. As I got closer to Broadway, Robin called and asked if I could go to Party City to get a costume for Destiny for school. We had a few words. At that point, I knew that she was trying to cause problems. I hung up on her and went to Party City and let Destiny pick out her costume for school. Shortly after that, we arrived at her house. I got Destiny out of my vehicle, and as I approached the door of the house, Robin came out of the house and instantly started attacking me. I tried to deflect the blows that she was throwing. Then her boyfriend came outside, and I asked him to get her, but he refused. He then closed the door so that the kids couldn't see what was going on. Robin and I had a few more words before she went back inside and came back out with a gun. I asked her, "What are you going to do with that?" And she said she was going to shoot me. I noticed that she really didn't know what she was doing, and the first chance that I got, I grabbed the gun and disarmed her. I took the clip and made sure that no round was in the chamber. I was going to throw the gun on the roof of the house so that she couldn't get to it, but ended up tossing the clip in one direction and the gun in the opposite direction so that they would be far apart from each other. Robin then ran back into the house to get something else. I didn't know what she was doing, so I got back in my vehicle. She came back out with her cell phone, threatening to call the police on me. She asked her boyfriend, did he find the firearm, and he said yes. She then proceeded to try to open the door of my vehicle, yelling and screaming at me. I rolled my window down and told her boyfriend that he needed to get away from her because she's trouble and that he had no clue that she was a psychopath, and then I left. To this very day, I wish that I never had taken Destiny back over there that Thursday night. Robin then called me early Saturday morning as if nothing happened Thursday night. I did get to speak to my daughter on the phone, but it was not long at all. Robin took the phone from her and proceeded to talk as if nothing happened. I told her she was crazy, and then I hung up on her. I didn't speak to her anymore that Saturday. I didn't find out about Destiny's death until the next day, which was Sunday, and was told that she had passed away. The grandmother called and told me that Destiny was dead. I couldn't believe what I was being told. It was the worst day of my life. My family and I went straight to the Knoxville Police Department to find out what happened to Destiny. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being lied to. I spoke with an officer. He asked me a few questions about my whereabouts Saturday night, and shortly after that, he said that I was the one who had killed my daughter, which was false. I wasn't even in the city when my daughter had died. I was told to come back the following day to speak with detectives. I came back in the next day, which was Monday.
We don't know. She never gave a reason, so we don't know.
And I was interrogated for quite some time. The detectives wanted my cell phone so that they could search it and invade my privacy. I was humiliated, yelled at by these detectives, and then accused of killing my own daughter in cold blood. I couldn't believe what I was going through. Here I am, a grieving father that had just lost his daughter and being blamed for killing her. I was threatened multiple times that if I didn't give them my cell phone, that they would hold me and lock me up. I ended up giving it to them and still haven't received it back to this day. 2 days after the interrogation, they got a search warrant and kicked in my door and raided my residence. They told my landlord that I was wanted for murder and that I was never coming back because I was going down for killing Destiny. My landlord thought very highly of me until that day, and he wanted me out of the house immediately. Unfortunately, I wasn't there at the time of the raid, and that was the same time as my daughter's funeral. I wasn't able to attend the funeral because of this situation. They really ruined my entire life while I was still trying to process the death of my baby girl. I was unable to get all of my belongings from the house. Some items were stolen. Some items were also left behind. I ended up spending a lot of unnecessary funds on attorney's fees because I was being accused when I was completely innocent and had nothing to do with any of it. Your Honor, this woman has caused my family, friends, and I so much pain and heartache. She is.
She said you're a little behind, but I do a kind in a maybe not the way you do. And yeast isn't a problem. Just make sure that the water's hot enough. Let it rest for 15 minutes. Beat out the CO2. Let it rest for 45 minutes after you shape it. Then everything's great.
Been a very violent individual. In the past, she tried to have my ex-girlfriend kidnapped and admitted that to me. My ex-girlfriend had to purchase a gun for protection because of Robin. Robin has vandalized multiple vehicles of mine. She's vandalized one of my other friends' vehicles that was parked outside of my place.
Ron, this goes beyond the scope. I can consider it only for the purposes of victim impact statement. It's not evidence that will be within the record.
I've lost thousands and thousands of dollars that I've invested over the years because of this lowlife. She has harassed me by following me and popping up at my house at all times and stalked me for years because I didn't want to be with her and she couldn't stand seeing me in a relationship with someone else. She broke into my house and stole a lot of valuable items previously. She has lied and made false reports numerous times. One time she even called the police and told them that I was kidnapping our daughter one night. She had the whole entire police department at my house for nothing. She's threatened to have my mother's brains blown out. She's also said that she knew people that didn't have a problem with killing a kid. She even called DCS on my son's mom for no reason, trying to get her children taken away from her. This woman should have been taken off the streets years ago and put away behind bars, but she lies and manipulates the system and always manages to slip away without getting in trouble. This woman is a real piece of work, as you can all see by now. This isn't even a fraction of all that she's put me through. Robin used my daughter to get at me any way that she could. Sometimes she would go weeks without letting me see and talk to Destiny. There were numerous times that Destiny cried and cried because she didn't want to go back home with her mother. As of October of 2017, Ms. Robin had lost custody of both Destiny and Gavin. They awarded custody to Robin's mother. I knew nothing about this. No one contacted me about the situation at all. I never knew anything about these court dates. I didn't find this out until March of 2019. I went to pay child support and happened to ask for any and all documentation filed on Destiny because I was seeking custody of my daughter. They printed out numerous documents, and this is how all of this was revealed to me. After 2 years of me not knowing any of this, it was finally revealed because of my actions. I found out that Robin had a real bad drug habit, and she had lost custody of Destiny because she kept failing drug screens while she was pregnant with Gavin. The court awarded the grandmother custody without my knowledge. Even when Destiny died, the grandmother was there supervising the kids, was supposed to be there supervising the kids because she was appointed to do so. Robin wasn't allowed to have the children unsupervised. The grandmother violated a court order and failed us all, as well as the state, because they shouldn't have been awarded custody without each of the fathers being evaluated and looked at as having custody of their own children. The state would have been...
Well, I agree with that. Why give it to her mother and not try to see if the dads are fit for it? That's on the state. Now I have another timer going off.
Done their job correctly, my daughter would have been in better care and would still be alive today. Robin is negligent. She cared nothing about her children. She made up multiple lies years back and had me arrested. I had to enter a best interest plea just to keep from going to jail. I provided video evidence of her actions. She has been the aggressor this entire time, telling me that she's going to have me put in prison somehow, some way. Even in this case, she told law enforcement that I was the one that had killed my daughter. I am the victim here, and she needs to be put away forever. She lied historically and used the state of Tennessee as a weapon against me and everybody else and attempted to do the same thing in this case. In the past, I've shown videos that I've taken surreptitiously to have to prove that this country isn't premised on proving our innocence. I've had to prove my innocence all because she is a woman, but in reality, she is a lowlife and cared nothing about Destiny or her other children. The only thing she cares about is herself. She lied repeatedly in this case. She's culpable in it. Robin is the reason that my daughter is dead. It is my desire to see her rot in prison. I want her to be there for the rest of her life if possible. If not, I beg the court to give her the maximum sentence possible. She deserves to die in prison. She is responsible for the death of one of the weakest in society, a small innocent child who was defenseless and had no say in what her mother did and put her through. Yet she did it over and over, and the state turned a blind eye to it. She deserves to die in a prison cell somewhere. That's what I'm asking, to put her in prison for as long as you possibly can. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. She's responsible for the death of our daughter. Robin is a poor excuse for a human being. She again is responsible for the death of a child, someone who didn't have any say-so in what was going on. She manipulated the courts in this country and punked everyone here for years, making up lies about me. Again, I've had to enter a best interest plea, and my attorneys have had to show videos that I've taken to prove my innocence. I've had to prove my own innocence, and that's not how this country was founded. That's not what our Constitution is premised upon. But I've had to do that because she is a master liar and manipulator and used this court and every court in this country to her benefit to get even with me and to accomplish her will, all because I didn't want to be with her. Even during the course of this case, she's lied through her teeth and said it was me that was responsible for this horrific tragedy. I ask this court to give her the maximum sentence possible. It is my desire to see her spend the rest of her life in a prison cell. Because of Robin, I have no daughter now. At a minimum, I desire for her to be put away forever. I'm asking for consecutive sentences, maximums on every charge ran consecutively so that she never comes out of prison. She is a poor excuse for a human being. That is what prisons are made for, is to keep people like her who victimize anybody that they can for their own benefit. I'm asking you to keep her in there forever. If you can give her a life sentence, Your Honor, that still wouldn't be enough. It's my desire to see her go away for the rest of her life. It's my desire to see her die in prison. You know what else she did? She blamed it on her 2-year-old son for the death of our daughter. She is a despicable human being. Not only did she victimize and cause the death of our daughter, she further victimized her own 2-year-old child by blaming him for his sister's death. Your Honor, I am begging you to give her the longest and maximum sentence that you possibly can string together.
Who's peeing herself?
No, I said, I walked in the other room listening to it. I'm like, what is she like reading? Like, is he just repeating himself over and over again?
Yeah,
She
it
needs
sounds
the
like
maximum
the same
sentence. Stuff. She's a poor excuse for a human being. Get her the max sentence. Everyone, just give her the max sentence. Like, good Lord. Come on, guy. It's just like, talk about your daughter. Talk about what she liked to do. And I don't know. I want to hear more of that.
Yeah, it's I don't sign him up for Father of the Year. Let's just say he's not on my bracket this year.
That's funny, Sean. Did he say he wanted her to spend the rest of her life in prison? I'm not very clear on that.
These are not smart people are dealing with here.
No.
Yeah, this is the gun in the bush. Well, slightly next to a bush.
Under a stick. That's what it was.
on a clear patch of dirt that you could clearly see had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it was a gun under a stick.
That was the most stupid. She hid it under a bush.
She hid it in a bush. That's what they said. And I'm picturing a bush, a big old bush. And then they show it and it's like a dead couple sticks, like sticking out of the ground.
What we in layman terms a 70s bush.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hallington, this is your opportunity to speak before the court makes certain findings and pronounces judgment. In this case, you're not required to, but this is your opportunity if you wish to. All right. The court is tasked pursuant to TCA 40-35-114, TCA 40-35-113 to first find whether enhancement and mitigating factors, which are confined to these two statutes are applicable. The state urges a number of different enhancement factors. There's a couple that I'm going to rely upon because I think they're just glaringly obvious in this case. And while I could find perhaps other enhancement factors, I don't think there's any point in muddying the record up on appeal with going into those because there's no specific set of enhancement factors. There's no calculus or graph that the court has to follow as far as I can only go up so far if I find 1 versus finding 5. That's not what the law says. Ms. Hallington, this is a strange case. This is one of the more unusual cases among the hundreds that I've tried as a lawyer or as a judge. But there are a couple of things in this case that are just glaringly obvious. I agree with what General Good just said a few minutes ago. You are not the victim in this case. You have a previous history of criminal convictions or criminal behavior. What you had before the night that this tragedy occurred was not very significant, although you were engaged in the trafficking of illicit narcotics, and the court can consider that. But I really don't know how you could have made this much worse than what you did that night. Within literally minutes of when your daughter had been shot and killed, you were attempting to hide the firearm that was used to kill her. You're not concerned, you weren't then, you're not now. You're not concerned with trying to protect Gavin. You're concerned with trying to protect Gavin's mother. And you have been, you were that night, and I will believe that from this point forward. I don't know how you could interpret this evidence any other way. You have a previous history of criminal conviction, criminal behavior. You tried to hide the gun that was used to kill your daughter while her body was still warm. When you were taken to UT Hospital to be checked for shock before you spoke with law enforcement, you attempted to solicit another person to take your cell phone so that it couldn't be looked at, and then you tried to destroy the cell phone. Within seconds, if not minutes, of when your daughter was shot and killed, you're calling 911 and making up a story about how it all happened. And repetitively, I quit counting at about 20, repetitively throughout hours worth of police interviews, not just that night, but on other occasions as well. You made up story after story after story. And this court can consider every bit of that as criminal conduct. So you clearly have a previous history of criminal convictions or criminal behavior, which enhances your sentence in this case. As to count 2, the aggravated child neglect where there was serious bodily injury, count enhancement factor number 9 applies as well. A firearm and your handling of that firearm is the reason that your daughter is not here now. It's not because Antoine Oliver showed up 2 days earlier. It strains the bounds of credulity to believe that your boyfriend just laid that gun down where a small toddler could just walk in within 2 or 3 minutes after you and your children arrived home, found the gun, pointed it at your daughter, and pulled the trigger when that gun had been in that same place for 24 to 36 hours and nobody saw it. I will never believe that. And I don't think you were honest with the jury about how that happened. But the simple fact remains that however he found it, you were responsible for that gun. What I believe happened, if in fact it was your child that had the gun, when the bullet was fired that killed your daughter, there was a man that came in. And I don't know if it really was somebody to collect window tint payments like you testified to, or if it was a pill deal, but somebody came in. It was a strange man in your house, and I believe you had that gun out for protection. I believe you had a round chambered and the safety off, and that gun was left there, and when you stepped out to smoke, the tragedy occurred. But that's on you and nobody else. So I place great significance on the 2 enhancement factors that I found. Your history.
That's kind of what we thought too, Jamie, that she had the gun somewhere for protection and didn't put the safety back on when she went outside.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the same as the judge.
As well as the firearm use in this case. As stated previously, the mitigation.
He's 2 years old. No. They tried to talk to him, but he was just crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how some people go to prison and get really skinny and ripped, man, and some people go to prison and get really fat. It was the same with Kayla Montgomery. It's almost like if you don't have your daily intake of crack, you'll fatten up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she just said, I had the gun, I was afraid this guy was going to rob me, he was kind of shady. I forgot to pull the gun away because I have a drug history. She would probably have gotten away with something lesser than this. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna put any glazing on that because I'm gonna freeze it down for when I have visitors. Now I have so much cake. So yeah, you think she shot her? I don't see her. No, it was the daughter who was killed. No, maybe Jen Gary. I don't know, but it was the daughter who was killed.
Yeah, I don't think she did it. I think it was an accident, but she's not a smart lady and
No.
she lied and it was stupid.
Yeah, Courtney Clenny, she got on that Tootsie Roll as well.
Mitigating factors. This was an unusual case. There are unusual circumstances, but I don't place much weight on that as far as mitigating your punishment. So if you would, please, ma'am, stand up. Ms. Allington, in docket number 117659, based upon the jury's verdict of guilt, finding you guilty in count one of the lesser included offense of reckless homicide, you were found guilty of that offense and sentenced to a term of 3 years to serve within the Tennessee Department of Correction as a range one offender. In count two, based upon the jury's verdict of guilt, finding you guilty of aggravated child neglect, you were found guilty of that offense and sentenced to a term of 22 years to serve within the Tennessee Department of Correction as a range one offender. In count four, based upon the jury's verdict of guilt, finding you guilty of false report, a Class D felony, you were found guilty of that offense and sentenced to a term of 3 years to serve within the Tennessee Department of Correction as a range one offender. In count five, based upon the jury's verdict of guilt, finding you guilty of tampering with evidence, a Class C felony, you were found guilty of that offense and sentenced to a term of 5 years to serve within the Tennessee Department of Correction as a range one offender. And finally, in count six, based upon the jury's verdict of guilt, finding you guilty of attempted tampering with evidence, a Class D felony, you were sentenced to a term of 3 years to serve within the Tennessee Department of Correction as a range one offender. These sentences will be served concurrently, one with the other, for a total aggregate sentence of 22 years to serve within the Tennessee Department of Correction. And as your attorney has pointed out, the service rate is at 85%. I wish we weren't here. I know you wish you weren't here. Mr. Oliver wishes that we weren't here, but you're the one responsible. That'll be the judgment of the court. Good luck to you. When do we need to set this for motion for new trial?
That's going to be a transcript. I don't suspect that's going to take place.
So if my math is correct, she's up for parole in 18.7 years.
Yep, that's what it sounded like because it's 22.
22 years and
And then
85%.
about 85%. Yeah.
Yeah. So 18.7. No. The way he got it to 22 is because some of it is consecutive. She's getting a retrial. We don't know. She'll probably appeal it, but I don't know. She's not going to get a retrial tomorrow. I know that.
This was their sentencing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just sentencing. And that's my kringel. Oh, pretzel. Apple pretzel.
She was out on bail, so I don't think she got time served or anything.
Was she
was yeah, she was. Remember, she was out on house arrest or whatever.
Oh, yeah, because she did drugs and she had to. She was out on bail and then she did failed the drug test and had to be
house arrest.
Yeah, under house arrest. How old is she? I think she was early 40. No,
I think I thought she was like 37. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I have like 32 when it happened and 35 or 37 now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like she was in her mid 30s or late 30s.
Yeah, but Jamie, cinnamon rolls done, so I fulfilled my obligation for that one.
You did.
So I can have the Sunday off. I made buns, so I showed all the ladies my buns, and I did a kringel. So I don't know what stupid thing I can make up about that. But other than that, I have to say thank you, Jim, for the 10 memberships, Brandon for the 5 super chat, Maria for the 2 super chat, Brandon for the 5. Brandon for 5. Cindy for 2. Brandon for 5. Iris for 2. I did say thank you to Boudica earlier, but thank you so much for being a member. Lefty for 5. Brandon for 5. And Erin Olivia for 5. And Brandon rounding up again. Oh, look who's here. Thank you so much, Mrs. Future Mrs. Martin 2.0. That's the name. And now I can see who's got them. John Coleman, hey Joe. Nikki to y'all. McKinley Milligan and Laura Watson were gifted memberships by
Ooh,
Mrs. Sean. Thank you so much.
thank you, Miss Martin.
Future Miss Martin.
Wow.
Yeah, he better put a ring on it.
He did.
No, she's a future Miss Martin.
I know, but they're engaged.
Yeah. But Jamie, I don't know if you know the song. Everyone will put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. Ring on it.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Until then, you're not married. You're just playing.
Oh, you're just wearing a ring and it's not real? Okay.
Yeah. There's a ring, just not a wedding date. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell him he better get to planning because he's got a good one.
Aw.
As the priest said at my sister's wedding, now you're married, all the fun ends. Now it's all the stuff you did before was just for fun. Now it's to make kids. So get working. Exactly. Gobble, hobble, bobble, gobble, ring on it.
Yeah, that was a great rendition.
Yankees game tomorrow at 10:05 p.m. Time to start getting divorce level drunk. Oh, that's
Oh my god, that was great.
that reminds me. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. we will have our jury selection in our mock trial. If you don't know about the mock trial, I have a video explaining the mock trial. Me and Shizzy will try and be lawyers for a mock trial, but we need some jurors, and we will have jury selection tomorrow. Please go into the Discord if you want to try being a juror and fill out the jury questionnaire so we have someone to talk about. I think we have like 12 people now. We only need 6, but we would like to be able to strike some. And always remember, the prosecution is always right. Always vote with the prosecution. That's the only thing I would say. I won't bias you in any way, but the prosecution will be correct in this case. And you should trust the prosecutor and just vote whatever he says. But please, if you want to play along with us, go in and fill out the jury questionnaire. And then tomorrow at 2 p.m. we will do the wadia of the jury. And next Saturday at 2 p.m. we will do the mock trial. We have a very bad man who started a fire and unalived the person, and she needs justice, Jamie. And that weird guy from Tennessee needs to be, yeah.
Oh, I gotta look at this case. I haven't looked at it yet.
I made a video. Sometimes you should watch my channel.
Yeah, you say that a lot.
Brandon triggered Jamie.
He did. That was a good one.
Should you wear your Jose Canseco or Gary Sheffield jersey? The one with the most roids in him. I don't know who any of them are. Yeah, you can go watch the mock trial here if you find it interesting. It's not going to be a long day, and you won't get $5, and we won't reimburse parking. But it's just to make a little fun experiment to see if us people who try to play knowledgeable about the law can do a crime case and give you an experience of being a juror. No, not today. My back is killing me. You won't be able to see then. Brendan, just be sure your head is clear for next, because you didn't sign up for jury duty. So just next Saturday. Thank you so much, Dana T. You have a Randy Johnson and Chilio. Again, I always go by the most amount of roids. Oh, that's sad, Ronnie. Maybe if it's fun and it's a success, we'll try it again. Maybe some other YouTubers can do it. It's just going to be kind of lighthearted. It's a high school project that we got access to, and we have 3 witnesses each. We have some super talented creators playing witnesses. I can disclose that the expert will play the man who will end up being convicted, because the prosecutor is really good in this case. But we have Mo and Max Mura and T-Rex, and who's the rest? I should know this stuff. I don't know. And they will be the judge, and he has got himself a judge wig. So,
Oh my God, that he's out of control. I love it.
I can't wait to hear what, if anything's. Yeah, I'm working those. Every weird free agent psycho they had gotten in the past few decades. That's Canseco by my. Well, don't take him. Canseco, was he the guy who had the big head, or was that Strawberry, the guy whose head just blew up? 6'3", 280 pounds. That's a big dude. They will be the judge. Well, the charges are arson. No, Max is an expert. Well, he won't be there tomorrow. He'll be there next Saturday. Mike Gravely. Oh yeah, they just started. Barry Bonds' head got big from all the steroids. Oh, so it's Bonds. I think in Spanish the word is ¿por qué?
¿Por qué?
Why? But Jamie, on the way out,
Yes.
it's Friday. I'll have my beer, and Brendan, I have to be in court tomorrow, so you get so drunk that don't get me divorce drunk, but get me so drunk that I would consider marrying again. Other than that,
There you go.
here's all of you, and have a great Friday. You don't have a beer? Come on, Brendan. It's almost
The heck?
1 o'clock. No pizzas were involved. Yeah, let's see if the judge will allow sunglasses in court. Okay. Cheers, Brandon, and get so drunk. No, you didn't miss it. I saved half of it. I did a Valhalla. I only did half. Jamie, what are you doing tomorrow?
Hanging out with you.
And
Stabber Day and Vanilla. Oh, the dog's got excited.
and the doggos. Yeah, tomorrow, 9 Eastern, Stabber Day, as always. Tomorrow we will have Pernilla on. She's Swedish. Don't hold it against her. I do, but you shouldn't. Go into the Discord, sign up for the jury duty, and tickle the name poll as well. And we'll see you all later. And in
Yeah.
the mortal words of Hospice Jest, hasta la taco.
Hasta
Your
la
Honor, I
taco.
apologize.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor. 100, because it is 100% correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, you can see the lawyer's face. Okay, we have to go back and they.
Widower case.
Did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No,
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
no,
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
probably did. Everybody has.
Wait a minute, I need this story time.
Everybody has.
Everybody has.
Everyone has slept with his mother.
If I showed you.
Oof.
Oh my God.
I'm having a Jamie moment. And the way he just said it, he was just like, everyone had. Things on YouTube.
Mr. Randolph, do you?
I got that against the man. You don't
You
know.
called him chicken shit.
That's right, you was chicken shit.